Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Chase at Rocky Mountain. Thank you so much for checking in. So today we have what I like to call the Cadillac of the dual sport adventure touring helmets that we offer. This is the Shoei Hornet X2. And the reason that I call it the Cadillac of all the dual sport adventure helmets that we sell in that category is because when I put this on, to me, this is one of the most comfortable helmets. But also, if you're looking for a helmet that is going to be super quiet and stable at high speeds, if you're a person that maybe hit the asphalt a lot, this is definitely a helmet that I would tell you to check out. So Shoei does a lot of wind tunnel testing, and when you put this on, you can just hear immediately how well it just deafens the noise outside. Now, price on this, you are going to be up there. We're talking north of $500. But like I said, Shoei is a Japanese company. All their helmets are handmade, and pretty cool is watching the video. They say there's about 26 steps to have a helmet made, and well over 50 sets of hands that will touch a helmet before it actually goes out for sale. So a lot of care, a lot of cool technology goes into these. You're going to be DOT and SNELL certified for your safety ratings. And one of the things about Shoei with the Hornet X2 specifically that you're going to notice is from the outside looking in, it looks like a fairly simple helmet. But as we go through and we talk about it, you're going to see that there's a lot of really cool technology that is built into this thing. Now, like I just said previously, the fit on this helmet is one of my favorite things about it. So the cheek pads, the center pads on the inside are 3D contoured. We'll take those out and we'll show you here in just a moment. But this helmet, and I even have the VFX EVA, which is their motocross helmet. And what I just feel like the Shoei helmets do so well is when I put it on, it just feels like it just wraps around the contour of my face so well, and it almost feels like I have a custom fit helmet. So it's been one of my favorite fitting helmet brands for sure. Now keep in mind, we do have our fit guarantee. So if you buy this helmet or any dual sport adventure touring helmet that we sell, if you don't like how it fits, you can send it back in brand new unused condition, and we'll give you free shipping both ways on your first exchange to make sure you do get the size and the fit that is going to be best for you. But they do offer this helmet in multiple shell sizes, again, just to help you get the best fit possible. Now, the way that Shoei constructs their helmets, they've been doing this for years now, is called their AIM Plus shell technology. And so what you have is fiberglass and organic compounds and resins that make up this multi-layer shell. And they put a lot of emphasis on the shell construction because they say that that is the first basically protection layer between the ground and the rider's head. So they want to build a shell that is lightweight but very strong, that can absorb a lot of energy. But then on top of that, or inside there, you do have a multi-density EPS liner. It's a two-piece system, and it's varying densities throughout in those key areas to help absorb as much impact as possible. So they've done a lot of research to make it safe. And also going back to what I was saying earlier, as far as being stable at high speeds and being quiet. So when you look at the visor shape on this, it's pretty unique. Aesthetically, it's not my favorite looking visor, but everything is built with a purpose. So it has this wedge shape to it. So it's called their V460 visor. You can see you have these gills or these louvers all across the top of it. And so these are just built to help flow as much air through that and to help keep this thing as stable as possible. My only one nitpick that I have with the Hornet X2 would be the weight. It is one of the heavier helmets in this segment, in this category. So a size medium does come in right about 4 pounds. But where they've put that weight and how this helmet feels when you have it on, it doesn't feel that heavy. So other than that, though, really, like I said, I don't have any complaints about this. Okay, so we talked about that visor. Now with this, so it is a breakaway design, but something kind of unique that I like to point out right away is when you look at the side here, so with this, you've got the shield, which we're going to talk about, but you have their QRN little base plate right here. And what's unique about this whole setup is that there's going to be a lot of riders that buy the Hornet X2 that want to use it for long stints on the pavement, but you also want to be able to take this and go off-roading. So what's nice is that with their whole setup, and we'll talk more about the shield here momentarily, but you can take the shield off without any tools. It's very simple to do. But then you notice too that the visor does not overlap the shield. And what's really nice about that is that in just a few seconds, you can pop your shield off, you can put on a set of goggles, and the visor is not going to get in the way whatsoever. All right, now as far as venting goes, so from the outside, this is one of those things I was talking about earlier. It doesn't look like there's a ton of venting on this helmet, but it's pretty discreet. And again, with their wind tunnel, you know that they've done a huge amount of testing to get this thing to pull in nice, cool air from the front and get rid of that hot moisture out the back. So the way they do that, you have this vent right here on the chin bar or in the mouth guard area here. This one you can open and close. As you work your way up to the top, you can see that you do have this brow vent right here on top. It's going to force air down into the goggle area that you would have there. And then that one here, again, you can open and close that very easily. On top of the actual visor, So you actually have a vent that is taking air directly through here where my finger is right now and forcing it into the top of the helmet. In fact, I can just pop this off for you real quick. So right up here on top, you have this little button here. That's to actuate that vent to open and close it. It's nice and big, easy to find if you have a glove on, but you can actually see the hole that that vent is forcing air into. And again, this is all pushing air through, and then when we take the entire comfort liner out, you're going to see there are cutaways, there's venting channels inside the EPS liner. But that air comes in, and then it comes out. You have these two exhaust vents here on the back, and then you also have some neck roll vents that are going to be down here along the bottom. You also notice too right here, you've got this ridge that goes around the helmet, so I like how that looks, but also that's just a good location for your goggle strap just to keep that in place if you are rocking goggles with this. Now the last thing I do want to point out with the shield is you'll notice that you have these two pins right here. So this will come pin lock ready, and you also do get your pin lock shield that will be in the box as well. And what pin lock is an anti-fogging system, and it's one of the best that is out there. And the way it works is pretty simple. If you are going to be in a situation where fogging could be an issue for you, you install that pin lock lens. It just clamps or it just goes right onto these posts. And what it is like a dual pane lens. You're separating the hot air from the cold air, and it's just there to help combat fogging. So again, it's one of the better systems that is out there. So next thing I want to talk about before we get to the inside here is with the actual shield. So what I like about the shield, it's optically correct, but it also gives a really good tight seal. And I like that it has, when you click this thing shut, you know it's shut. And when you look here, when we go back to this plate system to get this shield off, you'll notice that there's actually, I counted them, there are 7 locations for the shield. So when you open up the shield, if you want it just barely cracked, if you want it halfway, 3/4, all the way up, these D-tents that you can actually see right here on the side do a great job of keeping that in place. But you'll notice though that as I go down, if you're watching right here on the side, when I get to the bottom, that last little click, you can see that it kind of pulls the shield back up into the gasket that you can see that you have going all the way around the entire eye port. So that's just going to give that good tight seal. Again, that's really just going to help with that wind noise. All right, so that is your outside. Let's take a look at the inside here. So this will come with a chin skirt. Won't come installed, but it will be in the box. So if you do want to put that on for cold weather, you can put that on there. But so looking at it, here's what I want to talk about. So I talked about that. So it's their Max Dry Comfort Liner. So this is all removable. Wash it. Recommend hand washing it. Let it air dry. Put it back in here. But you notice though that they're 3D contoured, and that's where you get that really good fit around the jawline when you have this helmet on. You've got emergency quick release tabs right here, so you can take your finger, grab it here. It's just going to help you pull these out. So let me grab these real quick. All right. There's one. My other one here. Get the actual comfort liner out. You'll also notice too that this comfort liner actually connects right here in the top of the helmet versus right here on where the forehead of the rider would be, so there's no snaps here. Again, that's just going to add to the long-term comfort. Not going to have any pressure points from any snaps right in the forehead area. But this thing you can see, lots of cutouts on here just to help this thing ventilate. With that open, if I pull one of these out, there's my cutout for a Bluetooth comm speaker. And what I like too is that on the side of this helmet, kind of going back here, you got a good flat interface right here. So with this helmet, you can either use a clamshell mount, which is going to be really easy to pop on there, or an adhesive back. But because you have a nice flat surface right here in the chin bar, it's going to make it really easy to get one of those things connected. But with everything out, there you can see that is your multi-density, multi-piece EPS liner that you have on the inside there. So like I was saying, you've got that AIM Plus shell technology, along with this, varying densities all throughout in key impact areas to absorb as much impact as possible. With that shield coming off, also you can pop off the visor too, so if you're gonna be doing some street riding, you can easily convert this to a street style helmet. So overall, like I said, I call it the Cadillac of dual sport adventure touring helmets for the reasons that I've already mentioned. I would love to hear your feedback though. If you have a Hornet X2, if you've had a Shoei helmet in the past, what did you like? What did you dislike about it? Because for me, the only knock that I can give this thing is just the weight. But aside from that, I love everything about it. If you have questions or comments, so we want to get those answered, so make sure leave those down in the comment section below. To grab yours, click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. These are going to ship for free. All orders over $75 due. And if you want to stay up to date on videos like this, get subscribed to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and that will keep you up to date. I'm Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.